Hello, world. Welcome to Queering Science, Theology, Philosophy, and Spirituality. This is the LGBTQ Center for Science, Theology, Philosophy, and Spirituality, where we discuss science, theology, philosophy, and spirituality with an LGBTQ perspective. And today we're going to do a video discussing about life, electricity, and cells. Whether cells or DNA, genes are the source of life, and I am for the view that it's genes, it's not cells. But I wanted us to watch this video because there's a video by Dr. Lupton that discusses that, but he's a cell guy. But I liked it for the message. He was talking about the electricity, the charges that are in the body that happens. And you know, cell, the battery cell, like your phone has a battery cell, meaning it has charges, electrical charges. So weird enough, what is called the smallest unit in the body, the cell, is also a cell, meaning then it means it has electric charges like the battery. And our body is made up of cells. You see my skin, this is all skin cell, all of it is cells, and everything in my body is cells. And so that means I'm an electric electric being. We are all electric beings, and some are more electric than others. And so that's why when you go to church or even mosque or anywhere, or even the movie theater, and you enjoy something, you experience something, you get goosebumps, or you say your presence of God is here, that those are charges you are feeling, and they are brought about when you are in a certain environment, in a certain environment. That's why when you're in a scary place, it brings weird charges to you, because you notice that I may be killed here. So you start fearing, your heart starts beating, and sometimes negative energy becomes too much. So we are energetic beings, we carry energies. But because we live in a very physical world, most of the times we don't pay attention to the electricity in our body. So now I want us to watch this video, and then we analyze it, and then we'll be done. This is a science video, so there's no much talking. It's just to respond with facts. So let me get the video. Wrong region. Good, now I've got it.
I will show you the science of actually how the cells work, and you will have more knowledge than most doctors in the world today, because they still believe in the genes. You are
So Dr. Lipton says that scientists believe in the genes. Yes, we believe in the genes because genes are smaller than cells. Every cell has genes, has genetic code, and it's wonderful. And genes are acids, and acids are also they are also cellular. No, I mean, yes, they are also cellular. So it's weird that what I think he made a mistake is that he said that genes are not important. They are important. They are part of cells. That's what he should have said. So that was an error.
Made out of 50 trillion cells, and the cells are the living entities. So you are a community, not a single person. Every cell in your body has minus voltage on the inside and positive voltage on the outside.
So every living cell is a battery, and That's what I was telling you. It's so weird that English went that way. That when the human being studied the body, before the battery was found, they called these small bits in our body cells. Then the battery was born, and when they found electricity, because electricity is just charges, is positive, negative, and neutral charges, they just said, oh, okay, this thing that stores charges, we will call it a cell. And that's what happened. And what has he said? The negative is found inside and the positive is found outside. And then philosophically, the Chinese believe that yin yang, whereby everybody has a male and female component, because the woman has a male yang and a female yin, and the male has a has a female yin and a male yang, but he's a yang, but he has yin in him, and a woman is a yin, but she has yang in her. I like how another lady said that she did not use her man did not awaken. And I said, yeah, this is a lady who knows Chinese philosophy. So look at that. So a battery also has yin and yang, and our cells and our body has yin and yang. Wonderful. Okay, so every cell is a live battery.
Live cell is a battery. Every cell has about 1.4 volts. 50.
So there you are. Every cell has 1.4 volts. Voltage. That's the amount of electric power in a cell. Unbelievable. That's why when you see psychiatrists, they use electrical therapy when they want to put someone's brain in order. they shock them because of this science, because the brain cells are also electric, and each cell is 1.4 volts. Of course, as I've told you, everybody is electric, but some are more electric than others. That's what you need to understand, and that's what you need to know about even diseases like epilepsy. You see, that's an electric disease, and whenever the person has epilepsy, that's electricity going on. The charges go off and on, and the person they lose their stability. The whole body convulses. Have you got a shock? Try and get a shock. Try and get a shock. You can even, if you watch enough cartoons, and that's what people with epilepsy go through. And look at Benny Hinn, when he used to lay his hands on people would convulse. It is because of that charges receiving the electricity. Of course, some people joke because they've seen people vibrating on the ground, they vibrate, but the others who do, they really vibrate. It's because of these charges that are released from this highly charged person. A miracle worker who is healing and touches people is highly charged and touches that person and goes. He used to say fire. Yes, it is fire. It's electricity. Go and listen to Benny Hinn. It's unbelievable. He revealed a lot about the power, the healing power, cosmic power. It is electric. Unbelievable. Okay.
Trillion cells in the body times 1.4 volts is 700 trillion volts of electricity in your body.
Are you seeing? There is how many volts of electricity in your body? 700 trillion. 700 trillion volts in your body. Are you seeing how much energy you have? You have a lot of energy.
Body right now. And with training and meditation, you can focus this energy called chi, and you can use that energy for healing. So while you see yourself as a physical...
So according to him, you can use this, you can channel the energy, you can train through meditation. You learn how to channel this energy for healing. Now, that's why I told you the best religion to study for cosmic power is Hinduism, because Hinduism studied power very well, and they have Kundalini, they have Shakti, all of these, and they are feminine powers. So these are the powers that people have. We all have them, and we all have this electricity, but we are supposed to channel them through meditation and the such like. So that's what he's saying. We have these charges, but if you want to channel them to heal yourself, inner healing, outer healing, you now channel those energies that way. And that's what happens with human beings. That's why religion is there. Religion is a metaphysical science. And spirituality. That's why we are a spiritual center. All right.
Entity, the new physics, you are energy waves interacting with each other right now. All animals and all plants communicate with vibration. The gazelle.
Yes, everybody communicates with vibration because they are vibrations. We are vibrations. There's a very good video by this African theologist. He's not a Christian theologian, but he believes in African spirituality. And he said something very nice, that there are no races, there are wavelengths. So everybody is in a different wavelength. The skin color, this is a wavelength. Because this is electricity, this is a wavelength. So there are different wavelengths. And all of those are vibrations. All wavelengths are vibrations. Even my voice, if you record it onto a meter, you will see waves. Your heartbeat, when they record your heartbeat, vibrations, waves. So that's what you need to know. And we communicate vibrational communication. And those you are not friends with, you will have negative energy.
Doesn't have to go up to the lion and say, "Are you my friend?" Because at the distance, the energy can be felt, and the gazelle will not go there because of bad vibes. If we, when we were young, were taught to be sensitive to the vibrations, we would not find ourselves in bad relationships and bad places. But we.
Now, I have a very naughty habit. When people use words like bad, sorry, you are you're still, this is my view, you're still not yet there. Because in science, there's nothing like good or bad. Yes. Relativity killed that. Einstein killed it. There is no good or bad, because what's bad to you is good to another person. Yes. So he's saying, because of these vibrations, we are supposed to learn how to relate with people. I mean, you will have good relationships if you look for your vibrational type. But that's a dangerous teaching, because you're not supposed to use your vibrations as such. You should use your desire, what you want to do. That's what makes you settled, because your desire is psychological. It's based in your psyche. So if you take vibrations, it's dangerous, because, and I'm going to show you why it's dangerous. Black people have different vibrations from white people. So what does this mean? Black people maybe cannot relate with white people because their vibrational energy is different. So to create peace in the country, let blacks stay with blacks and whites stay with whites. Now that is encouraging nationalism, and that's what's happening in the world. In fact, I think maybe that's why nationalism is rising high, is because people they are looking for their vibration. And if you look at what's happening in the world mystically, it seems that there is something coming in the cosmos. So people are getting ready, and they are collectively gathering together. The shared vibrations, the shared vibrations are happening. That's what you see. And what does that portend? I've already done what? I've already prophesied or predicted. This could mean war, World War III, because people are going for their national vibrations. They are looking for their friends. They are looking for the people who look like them, and then they'll stay together. Then we are actually going back to the ancient world. In the ancient world, people stayed in their genetic groups, and when they waited for their genetic groups, when they were in their genetic groups, they used to trade, but used to fight each other. So it may not be world war, but it may be it may not be World War III, but it may be a realignment of the nations. And now people are going to look for their vibrational atmosphere to live with other people. To live with their own kind. This is why black Americans were being told, come back home. No, there's a movement of black Americans telling black Americans to come back, because your vibrational energy can't work there. It can only work in Africa. But I'm trying to dissuade people from such a belief, because I believe human beings can live anywhere in the world, and irrespective of vibrational status. I've told you what drives a human being is desire. Let's be careful. Let's not go back to be animals. We are higher animals. So understand your body, but don't go to the level of don't be a slave to beliefs, because science can be a religion. Yes. And what I'm happy with science is that science it doesn't seek to be a religion. It's truth. But just because something is the truth doesn't mean you are bound to it. Remember what Jesus said, you shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free. So truth is not to bind you. You see? That's why I had to stop the video there. There's nothing like, if you are in a relationship and it goes bad, it just went bad. Yeah, it could be vibrational difference, but you can be in a bad relationship and still stay. You can be in a bad country. It's badly managed, but you still stay there. You see, you know the truth, but the truth shall make you free. You are free to move out of the country, or you're free to stay. Yes, that's the power of freedom. It is truth. Yes, you are free. Okay.
You're usually told not to go by our feelings, but to listen to what people have to say. Language was designed to hide feelings. The point is, all organisms communicate by vibrations and know if they're in a good place or a bad place by reading the vibrations. We humans have that ability, but are not trained to use that ability. When we see people, like if I look at the audience or you see us, we see people as physical particles and machines. But that's an illusion, because what we are interacting waves. That's why one person can affect another person just by being in the field. And today, physics studies the vibration, not the physical. And quantum...
Yes, so he's right there, that when you are in a field, we are in spaces, like where I am. This is a space. And it has its vibrations. Trees also have their vibration. Animals have their vibration. Birds, everything, every living form has vibrations. Yes, even stones. So, what happens is when you are in a space, the energy, if you are not compatible to that vibrational energy, you will feel affected. So there are some people you can't be around with. You know, they're just around, you get angry. Then there are others, you get close to them. This is why I told people homosexuality is common, is more natural. It's very natural because, well, maybe it's not, because you see, what I mean by not is that homogeneity is not homosexuality. Homosexuality is not homosexuality. However, homogeneity and homosexuality make the basis to homosexuality. People have homosexual relations based on homogeneity and homosexuality. Why I'm saying that is that that's the reason why some men are straight. It's because someone may think all men should be homosexual. Then no, it doesn't mean you can be homosocial and homogeneous, like you stay with men, but you're not homosexual. What is homosexual? Homosexual means the same sex having sexual relations together. And why I had to change the statement. Homosexuality is natural, but what I'm trying to say is that sex, you see, some people view sex as war. Yes, some people view sex as slavery, and then others view sex as love. So that's why I had to backtrack, because sometimes sex is about a person dominating you. And for some people, if you're a weak person, you will be dominated, and you accept the domination. So this one is another day, we're going to discuss it. That's where feminism is rooted. Feminism is the idea, there's a lot of hate towards male domination of the female body. You know, when a man marries a woman, sometimes he says, I demand sex, you know, I want to fuck you. And the woman feels bad and says, no, I don't want to have sex right now. And he demands it. And then, so the sex ends up being very bitter. It's just there's no love. It's because I own your body, so I'm going to have it. I paid dowry for you. So this is the war we have in the world right now. And so the feminist fights that domination. Feminists want freedom, and equality, so that a man owns his body and a woman owns her body. That's what they want. They don't want the situation whereby when you get married, your body is owned by the man, but you don't own the man's body. And vice versa. So that's what you need to know. Okay, let's go on.
Physics, we don't study the particles, we study the waves. And we study how the waves...
Yeah, so if you had quantum physics, you don't study particles, you study the waves. And we are waves. Wonderful.
Interference. All of the waves together is called the field. So you are made out of atoms, but you also are the field. You are connected to everything because you can't separate waves.
Wonderful. This is the theology we've been preaching. We are all connected, and we are connected to everything. Yes, everything in the world is connected to us. And because we are waves, waves can never be divided. That's why they're not solid. It's unbelievable. Wonderful.
Now we're going to show you how your thoughts go out and affect your life on the outside. This is an older picture of a new technology called magnetoencephalograph, MEG.
Okay, so we'll pause there, and we're gonna do part 2 of this video. And so let's summarize what we've learned. We've learned that we are vibrational beings, we are electric beings, we are wavelengths, we are vibrations, we are walking vibrations, and everything in the world is a vibration. And when you're a vibration, you go to fields. We are in a magnetic field, we're in an electric field. The world is a big electric field, and we do what? We are relating to places whereby we like places whereby our vibrations work very well. Look at how the European colonialists came to Africa. They liked certain countries, especially Kenya, because of the highlands. It was very cool and it reminded them of their home. In Europe, Europe is very cool. They are not next to the equator, so there's no sun. So because of that, when they came to Kenya, they could stay in Kenya because of the cool climate. So their vibrations were compatible with the climate. And that's what? Homogeneity. East or west, home is best. Homo is best. So you look for that homogeneity. And so they got that homogeneity in Kenya. But when they went to Uganda, most whites didn't stay in Uganda for a reason. The climate was so tropical, there was a lot of malaria, and the blacks were not dying. It was the white person who was dying because of malaria. And if you read the stories of Richard Burton and Speak, he used to have a bag filled with medicines just to survive in the rough climate of Uganda. And because it was tropical. But when you go to Uganda, Uganda is very fertile. And you ask yourself, why were there no white people here? Well, of course, apart from the culture, Uganda was already an organized culture with the Buganda kingdom and the many kingdoms in Uganda. Climatically, the whites couldn't stay there climatically, and so they preferred Kenya, of which was part of Uganda until 1926, when they divided. Kenya became a colony and Uganda still remained a protectorate until later years it became a colony. So I'm telling you, the vibrational movements, you see. So these white people were looking for vibrational centers, fields that make their body at least not suffer the heat. However, it doesn't mean there are no whites living in tropical Africa. They are there, but they know how to live under the harsh sun. They know how to do that, and that's why you have this sun shield and all of these things. Then look at the Boers. When they came to South Africa, they loved the climate. It was temperate, and again, South Africa is away from the equator, so there's no harsh sun. You see, equatorial countries, they have harsh sun the whole year. It's forever hot in the equator, so that affects the climate. And now look at what happens in Southern Africa. The winter in South Africa, they even snow. You see, there is snow in South Africa because they are not near the equator. So when the Boers went there, they loved it. They loved it and they stayed there. They even fought the British to stay in South Africa. So that's what, now I was just giving you an example of vibrational fields. But now, what I'm trying to tell you, disclaimer, don't bind yourself to do what? Be a free vibrational being. When you listen to things, for me, I don't like binding myself to whatever I listen to. I always do what I feel I want to do. So live your life that way. Of course, you will get vibrational conflict. This is why you fight, because the waves have disagreed. So you fight each other. But I am encouraging rational beings, beings that have high consciousness, that even if I am living in a world of where I'm surrounded by people who have different energy from me, I should learn how to live in that setting. Because if you learn how to live in a setting which has antagonistic energy to you, then you're a champion. Because what should make you living in that environment is that there's something you want. From there, yes, that's what I'm saying. Desire should lead us. Necessity knows no law, including scientific laws. Yes, necessity wants, when you want to eat a mango and it's high up on the tree, you will demand it and you'll get it. So anyway, that's what we discussed, part 1 of cells versus DNA. We're going to do part 2 and part 3. And also, disclaimer, I am for genetics. Yes, it's genes that make up the human being, and genes are part of cells. So Dr. Lipton shot himself in the foot when he said that scientists are wrong to focus on genes. No, they are not wrong. Genes are part of cells, but the rest of what Dr. Lipton says has sense. So please understand that. I'll show you in the next parts how DNA is cellular, and that's what we need to look at. Genetics is king, and then cellular science.